Good morning. Last night I had the wonderful and great strength of mind and spirit and body to even go to sleep in and under control, because having been called a liar by someone you deeply love makes you rethink everything you ever thought about them. No, not myself, because I know I was right. In this case, I'm not always right. I don't profess to have to always be right. But in this case, I knew in the top, middle, bottom of my own soul that there would only be two men and maybe one woman that I would actually, at this age, at this stage of the game, even consider having a baby with. And having deep, deep knowing in every cell of my body that I would love nothing more in life. Even now, even at 52, never thought of before you ask me. Never, ever, ever. Never. Saying no to every other older man that wanted a baby. Wealthy men. I mean, I would have been greatly taken care of. And said no to many a men that have asked me to have their baby. And mind you, these men didn't love me the way I felt you loved me, or I love them the way that I love you. And there's lots of different types of love for you listening out there. You got to excuse me. I'm in bed, freezing. Woke up, cold air up my nose, woke me up. Oh. It was just different. Everything about you was different. And I know why, and I know you know why. And even though I know you believe in spiritualism, having being told of your ancestry, I had hoped more of you. Because even though we are spirit in a physical body, and our physical body blocks a lot of our spirit, you have to take some knowing in the spirit is the one in control, not the body. So I know when I say I want chocolate, or I want McDonald's, or I want this, I want that, the spirit kicks in. We have to allow our spirit to kick in and say, you know you don't need that right now. You know better. You just had McDonald's last week. You don't need it again this week. Or, whatever treat that might be in excess, So knowing my spiritual purposes for being here rules everything else. And having found out what your historical background is, I had hoped you did too. But seeing you're the type of person that says, nope, I'm not going to listen to that even. I'm not going to listen to Tasha, even though she gave me a thorough reading from my ancestors. I'm going to continue to have to look for a job. I have to. And I understand a lot of men are that way. But at what point does your spirit take over and say, you did that? You lived that experience. You know, we can check that off now. You know, we can check that off as you experience it. And I say that same thing to myself. I say the same thing. Let me just. Do you think it's really easy having lost a child? Having a child ooze from my womb into the toilet. Do you think that was an easy experience to go through? It is no easier experience, I'm sure, than you being in your situation and still wanting to look for the job. And you have to find the job. Job. You are not the job, and the job is not you. You are a spirit experiencing life. Let it go. It made you sick. It made you deathly sick. It put you on the edge of death, as it were. I don't really believe in death. I believe you live this experience and we go into another one. Spirit never dies. You know the spirit never dies. Yet you're hanging on to this thing called have to find a job or I'll die. A job does not define you. A job does not make your spirit complete. A job does not make your spiritual journey complete. It was something you experienced. But your physical says, I have to. I'm a man, I have to. Dummy up. You are not your body. You're not your brain. You are a spirit that chose to experience what it was like to do that, I'm not going to say, type of job. I'll put it that way. Just like it was mine to experience. It was Amani's, took my baby, to experience just this much of the, I don't know what else to call it, non-birth experience and go on. And yeah, I cried for years. But I also knew in the back of my head that's all it needed to be. That's all you needed to do. Let it go. It is making you sick. Let it go. And if I can say that about my own baby that I carried in my body, you should, I'm shoulding on you, be able to let it go and do your spirit work now, not just an 8 to 5 at a desk. And us both having experienced a lot of the same dis-ease, malfunction in what you and I just went through, I know what I'm talking about. Because we both know it's not no fun being in the hospital for weeks at a time. It is not a good thing. It's not no damn roller coaster ride. And we both know how much I love roller coasters. Okay? So, excuse me. Having said all that, I want to move on quickly to my next point, which is, I don't know if you have ever experienced something so brutal as rape or being physically abused by another person. But when you call a person a liar, and when you call a person a liar and you love them as much as I love you, it felt like being raped all over again. And I instantly visualized those bruises. I remember standing in the mirror, looking at my face that had big, huge bruises on it, my neck from his hands being around my throat, trying to kill me. And I could see now. Not last night, I was in control last night. But this morning, I woke up visualizing those bruises around my throat of his fingers, and you could see the handprint, the fingerprint of each and every finger on both sides of my throat. I scanned down in memory, looking at myself in the mirror in the bathroom, and then I had to go to the bedroom, feeling ashamed and dirty, as if I had just been tarred and feathered from him. And as I looked in the long mirror, I could see where he punched me in my chest, above my breast, and in my left arm, and in my right arm, the deep purple marks of him trying to drag me to the balcony, and we were 2 or 3 stories up, and him trying to push my rib cage over the banister, and my legs, where he held me so hard, I was sore for weeks, trying to lift, because I went limp. I figured that was the best thing to do at the time, because, you know, it's kind of like trying to carry a what do they call it, dead weight. So I just went limp. So he tried to pick my legs up and my body up and throw it over the banister. So I had bruises on my thighs, on my buttocks, because he tried to dig his fingers into my skin to pick up any piece of me, to throw me over the railing. Now, mind you, all of this is after having been raped. And if you don't know what it's like, I'll try to quickly give you a visualization. Imagine if you could take porcupine quills. No. Imagine if you could take shards of glass and wrap them around your 10-inch dick and shove them into my vagina and into my ass over and over and over and over, slashing and cutting and ripping, digging into my skin, beating full force, beating my flesh, leaving almost, the only thing that didn't get hit were my hands and feet. So if you could imagine an entire purple body, purple, red, bruises, your orifices. Could you imagine, well, you're a man, could you imagine another man sodomizing you with glass shards going in and out of your ass, leaving you ripped, shredded, bleeding nearly to death? We only have, 5 or 6 pints of blood in our whole body? I don't know. I'm not going to Google that. It's not worth it. Leaving you mangled like a piece of torn meat on the floor. His dead weight on top of me. Dead. I had to pee on the floor. I couldn't even move. Yeah. Hold that picture in your head for just a moment. I really want you to imagine what it would be like. And you have seen me. You know what my body looks like. Imagine my body full of purple, deep bruises, so sore I couldn't move. Once he did wake up to go to work. Imagine you doing that to me at those horrible, horrible, horrible words you said to me. If I didn't want to do a thing, if I didn't want to be a thing, do you think I would waste the energy, the words, the vibratory factor, the thought process, the mental formation of my having to move my mouth to tell a lie to you, of all people, in my entire life, this lifetime, and we know we have been here several lifetimes together? Do you think I would be stupid enough to waste the fucking energy to even move my mouth, think a thought, to lie to you about something so important, energetically, physically, mentally, spiritually, as a child that I have wanted all my life. And just so you know, you're desperately, desperately wrong in saying you felt I never wanted children. Since you're that stupid to let the words fall from your fingers into letter form in the computer, let me just correct you now. I have always wanted and will forever want 6 children, just so you know. And just so you know, you have truly, truly shattered everything and anything I ever thought was good in you or about you. Every dream I ever had just got shredded, along with my vagina, my ass, my brain, my soul, my everything, when you just said those words, when you typed those words. And I know they didn't have meaning until you said, and now I know you never did want children. So calling me a liar is the same as raping me and beating me and shoving me over a banister to fall to my death.